Alrighty, we have Oregon State. We'll start with a statement from head coach Scott Ruck.
Well, credit North Carolina. They played a great second half, especially. Great game overall, but we knew they're a good team. Transition well, defend well. They were disruptive all day, which we expected, and so lots of credit to them and all the officials as well, running a great event. For this team, for it to end here today, nobody would have predicted it. Those who've been paying attention know the story and know how significant it is. And, because of that, I told him after the game, I'm just filled with gratitude for being a part of it. Gratitude to each of them for the way, not just saying yes to being a part of it, but the way they handled themselves throughout the year is just remarkable. And this has been one of the most special things I've been a part of. So of course we all wanted it to continue, but if it's going to end, not a bad way to have it end. A really good team having to play great, on their home floor, and then never fighting until the very end, and so this team deserves every accolade they get, and there's been nothing but an inspiration, so while I'm sad it's over, I couldn't be happier for what we've accomplished, more proud, and it's just been an absolute joy. And I'm talking 1 through 12, including every staff member that we have. It's been magical, and so really proud of them.
We'll start with questions for our student athletes. Today for Oregon State, we have Kelsey Reese, AJ Marat, and Sela Heidi.
Doug Bonjour, Associated Press, and any of you can answer this, but obviously losing hurts, but when you kind of reflect, is there a level of appreciation that comes with what you guys accomplished and what you overcame this season?
Definitely. I think when you look back at it, there's so many college women's basketball players that go through their whole 5-year career and never make it to March Madness. So it's definitely something to be proud of. We won the WCC. That's an amazing accomplishment that in the year, as the days go by and as the weeks go by, we'll be able to look back and reflect. But this one hurts, as we know we're a good team and they played really well, but say we come back and play them 3, 4, 5 more times, I think we could definitely get the win. So it's hard because it's March, and obviously it's whoever plays best on the day, and credit to them. They played amazingly, especially that third quarter. But yeah, so definitely proud of our accomplishments, but definitely hurts initially.
We already did what nobody thought we could do, and that's a huge accomplishment in itself. Obviously, we wish we could have gone further, but this was a big deal for us to get here, so we're really proud.
Mitch Northam, SB Nation. This first half was really, close and hard fought. What worked so well for y'all early that maybe didn't in the second half?
I think that one of the big things that we really focused on coming into this game was our rebounding. And if I double check, we won on the boards by 8. So I think just coming out and having that intensity was a really big thing for us, and kind of what helped fuel our fire a little bit in that first half. So I'm really proud of our rebounding effort today.
Lindsay Gibbs with Power Plays. For all three of you, what did you learn about yourself the past couple months after, you're below 500 at the end of January, I think it was a 3 or 4 game losing streak, and then to be here, what have you learned about yourselves and what will you take with you?
Kelsey, let's start with you.
Yeah, just the hard work and no-quit attitude. I think every player on our team had that in them, but through the adversity, it was able to really come out and just show how much more they wanted it, how much they could give in to what the program was and what we were about. And I think you saw it towards the end, just how much everyone's grown. Like, I'd highlight Kennedy. She came in this year and had a huge upgrade in her role, let's say, and then just how she started really well, but as the season went on, you just saw her grow and grow, and the confidence, and there's just so much more confidence throughout the team now and throughout every player than there was at the start of the year. And I can't wait to see what Scott does with the team next year and how far they can go.
Yeah, and for me, I think just gaining confidence, playing at this level, and then seeing each of my teammates gain their confidence. All of us are stepping into new roles, and it's a pretty scary thing to do. And new conference, that was also pretty tough. But I think it was just really fun to figure it out and figure ourselves out and figure each other out. It was a fun puzzle the whole year, and yeah, obviously we finished out pretty good.
Yeah, not to beat a dead horse, but finding confidence in myself and just believing in myself every time I stepped on the floor. I mean, this group has worked incredibly hard every day, and I think you can see how much we've grown through our grind, each of us individually and as a group. So just continuing to grow and get better every single day. So, yeah.
Mitch North of SB Nation. This program, Oregon State, has a well-established track record of success in women's college basketball. Elite Eight last year, Final Four several years ago, lots of wins along the way. For y'all to be a part of this team, to go through what you had to go through, to change conferences and all that, what did it mean to you to be a part of this particular Oregon State team and get to this point, the 24-25 season?
Huge. We all came to Oregon State for a reason. We believed in what they've done in the past, and we believed in what they're doing now. And this year, I think we showed the whole world, who perhaps stopped believing, that, hey, Oregon State's still here. It doesn't matter what changes in the world, what changes in the conference, what changes in the team, but there's always that same product and those same people. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And yeah, the three of us were on that Elite Eight team last year, so having been through that, I think this year was just spectacular. Like, it was so fun. None of us thought it would end this way, and I think it was really fun to fight and get here.
Yeah, I had a meeting with Coach Scott at the beginning of the season. We all did, and he told me that adversity can be an asset if you let it be, and that's kind of just something that I've carried with myself every day. And I think that our whole group has really shown that through everything that we've done, and we've gotten to this point where we're cutting down nets with our best friends. Like, what could be better than that?
I'm going to go to Zoom quick. Ethan Browning. Ethan, go ahead and identify yourself and fire away.
Yeah, Ethan Browning from Daily Barometer. I was just wondering, when Lexi started getting those threes in the third, I was wondering what you guys thought about that when you're on the court. Hadn't happened early in the first half.
Are we comfortable?
Sorry, that's all.
I can take it. Coach Scott mentioned in the huddle after the game that it took a big player playing a big game and rising to that occasion to put on such a show in front of a sold-out crowd on a home floor in March Madness. So a lot of props to Lexi for playing really well, and they played a great game altogether too.
Anything else in the room? Alrighty. Thank you, ladies. Girls, you're welcome to take your name card. Questions for Coach?
Scott, Doug Bonjour, Associated Press. Speaking of Lexi, how much of her third quarter was just running into a hot shooter, or how much of it was, things you guys could have done different defensively?
We didn't do anything defensively differently. I think the momentum swing at the end of the first half, we're up 2, then they take the lead, 4 straight points, and then they come out and hit 2 threes, and then a 2, it's 12-0 run. Probably just being maybe wanting to ease into the third quarter instead of remembering that this game is, every possession is pivotal in this third quarter, was probably the difference. And we know what she's capable of. She's been talked about for 5 straight days, 6 straight days, number 20, number 20, number 20, number 20. It's all that's been said, so I don't know how. It's just with the pace that they played at, you could tell them wanting to push the tempo more about the second half of the second quarter, that you could just see that was kind of their their plan. Of course, their defense changed. They pressed us to start that third quarter. And so the combination of a couple turnovers and then just maybe, just losing concentration for a moment allowed her to get free. And you're rolling the dice if you let someone like that get free. We know what she's playing for as well. And so she wanted to play big. She needed to play big. They probably weren't happy with their first half. And so you look to a player like that to step up for you, and she did for them. And so we just made a couple too many mistakes, got her going, and then it snowballed from there, once we were rattled a little bit.
Marshall from the Oregonian. Obviously, there was a lot of, you didn't really know what was going to happen after all that. Now you're going to this season. Is that something you can sell to transfer recruits, how you guys put this thing together? And the standard is still the standard.
Yeah, it's interesting you use that word because that was the word that we used to start the year. Standard. It was a word that resonated with this group, as we were preparing off of our team retreat. They used that word. For me, I know what my standard is, and as long as I'm the coach here, it's like it's going to be the same. It's going to be the expectation to get the most out of who we are and, to build a tight-knit group that does special things, and so while a lot of people I think were doubting what that could look like this year, I was confident that I don't know how good we were going to be or what our ceiling was going to be, but I was confident it would look right eventually. It would look like a team that's cohesive, that plays right, and is gritty and tough. So that will be the case going forward. I think our exterior, the circumstances around us in regards to conference and those types of things, as those are becoming and have become way more clear, I think what this group this year probably what they did just sped everything up. It's like, okay, if you wondered what it was going to be like, now you know what it's going to be like. It doesn't matter what conference we're in. As I said last week, Oregon State's going to be Oregon State. We're going to be a team that takes care of you and is competitive every night and makes pros, and that won't change. And so I think everybody just has evidence now if they were wondering previously.
Yeah, just to kind of, Mitch Northam, SB Nation, just to kind of piggyback off of that and sort of what I asked the players, you've won a lot of big games in your career, had a lot of really good seasons, but this season strikes me as maybe the most unique and just in terms of like what you had to deal with. Is this kind of up there with the most proud you've been of a team to get to this point after all that?
Yeah, I think, my first year at Oregon State was so chaotic. I mean, we had open tryouts and all that stuff, 15 years ago. And so that year was very unique, and that people will still say that was my favorite team you've ever coached because of what they had to overcome. This group had people that chose to stay when every bit of momentum was moving away from us as people, went other places. And so the courage that it took for them to stay amidst the very well-documented adversity that we were facing, puts this right up there with, I guess, I don't love the word pride, because I don't think that's always good, but I'm very proud of this group. I have been asked about the word fun. I guess I've used that word a lot this year, and I've said, it's fun, I'm having fun, we're having fun, all these things. Well, that's what it's been. It's been like, I love these guys. I mean, I've loved the journey of taking them from, I think anybody that watched us in November would say, we're dysfunctional competitively. We're dysfunctional as a basketball team. The ball doesn't move right. We're giving up layups. We're not boxing out. We're turning it over right and left. And it doesn't look like Oregon State. And it didn't. And so to go from that to where we were today and to do all the things that we've done over the last, month and a half where it does look like Oregon State out there. And I couldn't be more proud of everyone in this program for just rising to it, taking it on, and believing when we had some tough losses and we had every reason to go, it's not our year, and just kind of wait till the off season. They never did that. Like every day was just a locked-in, focused practice forgetting what happened yesterday, whether it was a win or a loss, and just going, okay, how do we get a little bit better today? And so for a teacher, coach, really, there's nothing cooler than that, you know? And so for this group, this year, what you got to see today, you know, obviously we came up short, but man, you saw a gritty, tough effort, especially first half before it snowballed on us. And that's who we are, you know? So yeah, I've had a blast with this group.
Gibbs with power plays. On that note, you know, with what I asked the players, did you learn anything new about yourself this year through all this?
Yeah. Well, I think what I learned this year was that all the hell that I've been through, and we all go through in life, right? We're not immune. Nobody's immune to going through hard things in life. The tough lessons and the tough moments I've had professionally, personally, they all had a reason. Because this year I had this crazy calm and this peace from the first defection last year on, you know, and I don't mean that in any sort of a negative way, but the first player that walked out on April 1st a year ago and told me, okay, I'm not coming back. Okay. Then another one. Okay. All right. Okay, this is going to be a challenge. You know, this kind of sucks. It doesn't feel great. However, I get it. I've had this peace the entire time. And I've just learned, you know, I said it a year ago at the press conference at Elite Eight. I was asked if I think people might leave. And I'm like, yeah, they might. I said, that's absolutely a possibility. Have I thought of it? Yeah, I've thought of it. What if it happens? I don't know. But what I do know, life has taught me that God provides. That's what I said. And my faith journey in my life has taught me that. It's just like, just hang in there and stay the same. Keep doing what you're doing. Take care of people. And just roll with it. There's certain things out of your control, but what I can control is to stay the course. And that's what we've done. And so I felt like those lessons all were just rewarded this year. You know, so personally, it's been I would just tell you, it's been a massive blessing to do what we did this year and to be a part of what we've done this year. And so I've been encouraged more than anything. And so I'm just, honestly, that's why I started this whole thing with the word gratitude. I seriously sit here with I'm just grateful for what I've been a part of this year and the way we've been supported and loved throughout the year. And yeah, and so I've learned just to hang in there, I guess, and everything's going to be okay.
I think that's a great place to end. Congrats on a great season, Coach.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.